if you didn't know, 22 hours ago, Joe Flacco is on the move from the from the Cleveland Browns to the Cincinnati Bengals. This is awesome for the NFL, regardless of any way you shake it. You are giving a guy who is a less athletic, less quick Jameis Winston behind center throw the ball to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. He is going to throw 5 interceptions or 5 touchdowns every single game. If you're a Bengals fan, I would be excited because you don't have to watch Jake Browning play football, hopefully ever again.
Look, I think the Joe Flacco Bengals jersey is one that's going to go up in the Hall of Random.
Probably.
I think for me, this is the perfect situation, right? It's a classic case of, can your wide receivers get open in 1.75 seconds? And if not, your quarterback is going to get absolutely mauled by Micah Parsons. That's what's going to happen this week. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase have exactly 2.5 seconds to get wide open. Mm-hmm. And if they do, they will catch the football. And if they don't, their 41-year-old quarterback will lose his head.
Yeah, I mean, Flacco's got a few Hall of Random jerseys. He's got the Colts jersey in the locker room.
There were so many that I didn't even know that he played for.
The Philadelphia Eagles in there. Like,
the Denver Broncos?
Yeah, really strange ones. But this is good for football. This is good for Jamar Chase fantasy owners. This is good. This is what he does. He just throws the ball. He slings the rock. Jake Browning has apparently come out and said that he was obviously pissed with their decision to move on from him. Guess what, buddy? You suck. Like, there's nothing that you can really do about that.
At least your wife is hot, right? You have someone nice to go home to. She probably loves you, too, which not very many people do.
He was getting booed in his own stadium by his own fans. Like, there needed to be a change. We all knew that. Are the Bengals making a playoff push with Joe Flacco? Probably not.
Wait. I got some points on this.
Okay. I'll ask you then. No. Let me finish it.
Okay, all right.
Do you think the Cincinnati Bengals can get to the playoffs with Joe Flacco at the helm?
Can they? Yes.
Okay.
Will they? I don't think so. But before we get there, here's one reason why I don't think Joe Flacco was that great in Cleveland earlier this year. He's proven in recent history that he does not like to be the day one starter. That's not Joe Flacco. We don't do that with him. Once a quarterback gets hurt, and he is either traded midseason or then goes in as the backup, is when we see A1 primetime Flacco ball.
Flacco ball.
If he knows he's the starter, it's too much pressure for old Joe. He's got to come in and just do a bang-up job of being the injured guy's backup in order to be in his truest form. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see on the Bengals, at least for 4 out of the remaining 12 games that we have left. Am I picking him up in fantasy? No. Am I way more hopeful now that my 5th-round pick of T. Higgins is not going to completely burn a hole in my fantasy team? Yes. I'm excited to watch this team this week, and I haven't said that since Joe Burrow got hurt.
Well, it feels like the exact situation that he went into with the Browns, 1 to 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Where they went 11-5 and David Njoku became the best tight end in the NFL for like 6 games. You know, like there is going to be one guy on this Bengals team that just gets fed the rock every single possession. And it might be T. Higgins and it might be Jamar Chase.
And it
probably should be both of them.
It might be Mike Gesicki, the tight end.
Yeah, agreed.
It's a non-zero chance that we're seeing Gesicki ball out there.
That being said, like I am going to watch the Bengals now. Like they're not on my list of teams to watch. Like they're not on my list of teams to not watch. Like they will be in the quad box come Sunday when they go up against the Packers, because like you said, every possession is going to be okay. Something really cool is going to happen, or a 40-year-old man is going to get killed by Micah Parsons.
Look, I think the Bengals have officially earned the corner office seal of 2 weeks, minimum 2 weeks on the not game of the week slot, starting effective immediately. Congratulations, guys. Round of applause for the Bengals, because you guys were on your way to a season full of not game of the weeks.
You guys have a stay of execution for 2 games. Do not let us down. Do not let us down. Switching to a division rival, though, an important question needs to be brought up, in my opinion, about the 1-4 Baltimore Ravens. This team may be the most disappointing team in the NFL so far. They came out week 1, had an absolute battle against the Buffalo Bills. They lost a game that they should have won there. Lamar Jackson goes down last week, doesn't play this upcoming week. They had absolutely no fight against a bad Houston Texans team who looked better against this Baltimore Ravens team. This defense was supposed to be a top 10 defense in the NFL. They are sitting at the worst defense in the NFL with players like Roquan Smith on it. Like, that to me is just abysmal as it is. Is it time to start questioning whether or not you look to fire Jim Harbaugh? Someone who's been there for what now? A decade, won a Super Bowl in 2013. I mean, the question in my mind is definitely prevalent. I just don't know if it's something that like anybody else is talking about through front offices, but man, have they been super disappointing this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Harbaugh's had a couple of these seasons where he's been pretty bad. The problem with me is you won a Super Bowl 13 years ago. Now, you've been in conversation since, but you've only been to two AFC championship games.
And none with Lamar at the helm.
One with Lamar.
One with Lamar at the helm.
So getting over the hump seems to be a problem. And now how many years can you take this core group of guys and waste it by not getting to the playoffs? Can't be that many. I think if they fire him, it's more so because they need a change of pace in order to inspire these guys that they have, who are seemingly kind of, I'm not going to say the Ravens are on the way out, but they are a pretty old team, top to bottom. I mean, you have some young guys, but not a ton of them. So it is time to figure it out, or else you're going to be, I mean, this season's in the dumps already. You're 1-4. You have to win out in order to compete for the playoffs, in my opinion.
To be fair, is that an outlandish statement coming from that division, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting at 3-1, but they're not a 3-1 football team, in my opinion. And ahead of them, you have the Cincinnati Bengals. And then you got the Cleveland Browns, who are seemingly throwing in the towel and going towards next year, right? They have
I think so too, but I mean,
quarterback.
They almost beat the Vikings this week.
Correct.
With Dylan Gabriel, their defense is good. At least
Their
you can look at
defense
this
is
team
very
and be
good.
like, their defense is awesome.
Yeah, fair.
They are a team that could make a game really tough on the Ravens. The Ravens have the worst defense in the NFL.
Yep.
And if they're not going to put up 40 points, clearly they're not going to be able to win. They've lost to some bad teams already this year. And to be fair, they've also lost to a couple of the best teams in the NFL. So I would give them a break there. But if they finish this season even hovering around the 500 mark, it's pretty much time to say goodbye to, maybe not say goodbye to Harbaugh, but they could see some serious moves in the Ravens front office this year if they don't figure it out. I mean, it is panic button time, right? Are you hitting the panic button if you're the Ravens?
I'm 100% hitting the panic button. You have put way too many resources into this team being good. You have backed Lamar being your guy. He has looked like the MVP for the past 2 years, won it 2 years ago, was in contention for it, but Josh Allen had just an unbelievable season. I think you're concerned with the way Derrick Henry has played, even though I think that he is one of those guys that is capable of having a late season resurgence just based off of the way that he's played. But they got to give him the rock. Lamar's out for what, another week maybe? Hopefully he's back this weekend, if that. The only way that they're going to win football games is through the ground, right? They don't have a fantastic receiving core. Zay Flowers has looked okay thus far. Mark Andrews looks old, right? This is an aging core that they have, especially at their receivers and their skill position spots. So I think that's a really big question for this team, is whether or not you're willing to allocate the resources towards getting another receiver into this building, or if you're willing to move on from a guy like Derrick Henry, who has had some really good success there in the past few years, or the past year, but seems like he's regressing and is obviously not able to carry the ball as securely as he used to in Tennessee.
I think Derrick Henry's in a funk. Running backs who are that great don't ever just go immediately to sucking and coughing the football up, right? But I agree.
But yeah.
Well, he took a bit of a hiatus from the NFL now, didn't he, Alex?
Fair point.
Okay.